Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think so. I mean, the cars now are just mass produced. They're all about sales numbers. I mean, they've always been about sales numbers. I mean, and back when back in the 60s when these, the Mustangs and the Camaros and everything were new.
390 cubic inch V8, new wide oval tires, and an optional speed control that lets you set your own course of action.
We didn't think about it back then. It was the same approach. They were trying to do and offer what the market trends were leaning towards. It's just that when they did that to some of the earlier model vehicles like the Camaro and Mustangs and stuff, at that time there were no real trends. Cars were transportation. Those are the times, to me, that market areas were being developed, okay? Like when they take the Secretary car and that's all it was designed for, that's what it came out, that's the only vision they had for the car until it got into the market, and then they started making the changes. Well, at those times, there wasn't a high performance, market already, okay, like there is now. I don't know how many other, I do know one, okay, the electric vehicles, the EVs, okay. That's gonna be another whole separate market from the combustion engine cars. Let's see where that goes. I mean, there's already a lot of versions of, the EV products, like the Teslas and the performance packages. And so that's a whole new market that's opening and blossoming, okay? We're seeing that like I saw back in the 60s. That's another example of explosion of a whole new technology. So, yeah, we'll see. I mean, there's no telling what's going to happen. Yeah, through the years, in the earlier years up through, obviously, and it'll be the same in the new EV era. Back then, as technologies came along and were improved and made better and everything like that, well, then it got to the point where all of these technologies are all going to have to conform to government guidelines and safety issues and all in their designs and development. So I'm sure that as the EV market progresses, that there are going to be some of the safety trends that have developed in the combustion engine era that are going to be utilized and brought over into the EV, and then I'm sure there's going to be other issues that are going to have to be dealt with in the EV market to make the electric side of things safe, so that a car just running down the road just doesn't just automatically combust into an electrical explosion and yeah, and self-driving. Yeah, so I mean, it's a lot of change coming down the pike. In the older days, life was so much more simple. Even though we thought that when the government started taking control of the emissions and trying to stretch the gas mileage and create safer environments, like airbags, collapsible steering columns, better anti-lock brakes, things like that started changing the early muscle cars into more of what you see today. I'm sure that same thing is going to take place in the EV going forward. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of changes, I'm sure. The real crazy thing is aftermarket companies that are developing the EV packages for the early body or classic cars. We'll see how that goes. We've had a shop talk on that earlier in another episode, and so we'll see. It's coming along. I mean, it may be getting here faster than I expected, but yeah. Appreciate you guys tuning in today. I hope we covered a few things for you and answered some of your questions. We love doing these segments of Shop Talk. So, hey, shoot us a message. Let us know some of the topics you'd like us to talk about. We'll answer questions. Anything that you would like to have done, we'll try to cover it. I appreciate you tuning in today, and be sure and hit the like and the subscribe button on our YouTube channel, and you'll get more and more videos. We've got a lot of neat projects coming up. We're going to be doing some updates on the '67 original owner Camaro that just came in. So we've got a lot of stuff going on. We've got a '64 Impala two-door hardtop too that's an original owner that is going to get done. Absolutely beautiful. So tune in, and we'll keep you informed.